Okay, let's dive into this step-by-step instructional guide. Welcome back to the Explainer. Today we're looking at revenue cycle management, specifically how to navigate the incredibly complicated waters of contractual write-offs and claim adjudication disputes. If you've ever stared at a denied or underpaid claim and wondered, who do I even call about this to get my provider paid? You are in the exact right place. We're going to master these critical billing workflows together.
Here is our syllabus for today. 1. Understanding contractual write-offs. 2. Insurer versus TPA distinctions. 3. Scenario 1. Pricing errors. 4. Scenario 2. Settlement errors. 5. Dispute resolution best practices. And finally, 6. Summary and next steps. We'll be using this concept scenario resolution structure to really master the exact logical pathways you need for claim troubleshooting.
Section 1. Understanding contractual write-offs, the legal obligation. To establish our foundational concepts and the strict regulatory rules governing billing allowances, we first have to ask, what exactly is a contractual write-off? By definition, it's the portion of the billed charge that neither the payer nor the patient is responsible for paying. It's a specific remaining dollar amount that must be canceled entirely by the billing provider because of the network obligations you've already agreed to.
Let's break down the absolute rules here using a simple if X, then Y instructional logic. If you enter into a managed care contract, then that contract stipulates specific allowable payment amounts for each procedure code. Because of that, you, as the provider, are legally and contractually obligated to write off the difference between your total billed charge and that contracted allowable rate. That written off amount is completely canceled. The absolute golden rule here, if there is literally only one thing you take away from this section, is that you absolutely cannot balance bill the patient for these canceled portions. No exceptions.
But how do we avoid getting hit with unanticipated write-offs in the first place? Well, taking a close look at the patient's insurance card to check for network symbols is a highly effective way to determine which pricing network the payer actually uses. Knowing this upfront helps ensure providers don't face those nasty, unanticipated write-offs.
Section 2. Insurer vs TPA distinctions. Knowing the payers.
Now, what's really interesting about this shift in our topic is that it fundamentally changes who is in charge of a claim. We need to define a third-party administrator, or TPA. TPAs are basically intermediaries that function as a network itself, or they access existing networks to process and price claims. Very often, self-insured small businesses use TPAs to keep medical treatment expenses under control through network pricing negotiations. They act as a sort of middleman.
Mixing these two entities up will totally stall your revenue cycle. On one side, we have the commercial insurance carrier, the entity that actually writes the check and funds the claim. On the other side, you have the third-party administrator, the entity that adjudicates and prices the claim using network contracts. Contrasting the check writer against the network pricer is absolutely crucial because knowing exactly who does what is the key to resolving unpaid claims accurately.
As our source text directly warns, it is crucial to have a solid understanding of the distinction between an insurer and a TPA, particularly in situations in which claims are not processed as planned. This isn't just a vocabulary lesson, folks. This sets up the entire foundation for the specific troubleshooting scenarios we're about to jump into right now.
Section 3. Scenario 1. Pricing errors. Let's look at exactly what happens when a claims error originates directly with the network pricer. This is a very real-world scenario. The specific workflow dictates that if a TPA wrongly prices a claim, say they apply the wrong fee schedule, you must deal with the TPA directly to rectify the matter.
Let's map this out as a workflow for your daily operations. Step 1, you identified that the TPA has wrongly priced the claim against your network contract. Step 2, you initiate the corrective workflow by contacting the TPA directly. Step 3, you rectify that specific pricing discrepancy with the TPA before ever involving the insurer. So, the crucial point is that the TPA is your sole point of contact here. Complaining to the insurance carrier about a pricing error will literally get you nowhere.
Section 4. Scenario 2. Settlement errors.
But what happens if the TPA did their job correctly and the pricing is right, but the payment is still wrong? You've got to instruct your teams to follow these exact steps when dealing with a carrier settlement error. Step 1. Identify that the payer, the check writer, did not settle the claim following the TPA's agreed-upon price. Step 2. Obtain a copy of the specific claim adjudication document that was originally issued to the payer by the TPA. Step 3. Formally demand that the insurance carrier reprocess the claim based strictly on that exact TPA pricing. In this scenario, your dispute is entirely with the carrier, holding them accountable to the TPA's adjudication.
Section 5. Dispute resolution best practices.
Before you officially launch any of these formal disputes, you really need to make sure your own house is in order by taking some proactive steps. Precision is everything in medical billing. Perform thorough internal checks and balances before pursuing a claim. Ensure you're actually addressing the appropriate issue. Is it pricing versus settlement? Verify all network symbols on the patient's insurance card and double-check all your contracted payment allowances per the specific procedure code to ensure your data is rock solid. And this brilliantly illustrates how simply checking for multiple network symbols on the insurance card is the quickest, most direct approach to determining the correct pricing network before the claim even goes out the door. Proactive verification saves you from having to do these exhausting dispute workflows in the first place.
Section 6. Summary and Next Steps.
We've covered some highly technical ground today, so let's bring all of these operational rules together. First, contractual write-offs are completely canceled amounts. Never balance bill them to the patient. Second, insurers cut the check while TPAs price the claim. Because of that, you route your pricing disputes to the TPA, and you route your settlement disputes to the insurance carrier. Make sure you join us next time for Part 6, where we'll dive into the chief government payer, exploring Medicare foundations, FICA funding, and Part A and Part B operational rules. Mastering these specific adjudication workflows isn't just about administrative compliance. It is literally the ultimate shield that protects a provider's revenue stream from slipping through the cracks of payer confusion. If you don't know exactly who to hold accountable, you just won't get paid. It's as simple as that. Like, share, subscribe to Decode Healthcare with Harshal.